I'm still going through it. Like maybe I'm just a little further ahead on the path, but we're all going through it. And if you're willing to just grab onto other people as you go, like why not? What a great experience is to do it with others.
I'm sitting down today with Christin Cole, who I just met literally hours ago. And she started telling me her story. You started telling me your story. And I find out that we're kind of on the same track. We're both developing a digital platform. And you were so excited about what you were talking about. And you were like ready to go with the whole thing. So I said, let's do an interview right now. So that's why we're sitting down, really not knowing each other, going to launch into an examination a little bit about who she is and what she's about to do, what she's in the process of doing right now. So a little bit about where you came from, Christin. Let's hear a little bit about your past and who you are.
So I was born and raised in Astoria. I then went to play sports in college and got a culinary degree at Lynn Benton. So I did that for 2 years, transferred then here to LCC, got a business degree. I've always been type A overachiever, working really hard, do all the things. Found my husband, we got married, and we've been married for 19 years.
Did he have a choice? Or
Depends on who you ask.
You found him and you married him.
That's right. And then after that, I've been in a couple different careers. I did dental for about 15 years. I worked my way from a dental assistant up to oral surgery. And then kind of got to the point where, unless I was going to be a surgeon myself, I was kind of at the top. And I find myself on this similar cycle in a lot of my story where I work really hard, I get to the top of something, and then I look around and I'm like, well, that's not enough. Like, I'm not satisfied. So then I got the opportunity to work with my husband. He owns Hamer Electric, and they said, come on in and, you could be a project engineer. And so I learned the electrical world, did that for 5 years, got to the point and an opportunity to be a minority ownership in the business, made the most money that I had ever made. And once again, stood at the top and said, this isn't what I want. I'm not satisfied. And so end of February, I took a leap and I quit my job and decided to start the culinary avenue. I have Zesti Chef, so I am now the Zesti Chef.
So you must have some friends in the world that listen to this, watched this whole thing unfold and go, Christin, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. Because you'll rarely find people who actually are wired the way that you're wired. Mm-hmm. You're wired a little differently. And I recognize that because I think I'm wired a little differently too. So what did they say? What did the people who knew you best say about what you were going to do?
I don't think that they were surprised. I have a really great support system, especially my parents and my husband. They know me and they know the climb that I love to climb. But they also understood that I wasn't fully satisfied. And I think that for me, they wanted that. And it's hard because I don't think I knew myself. I think that I was externally motivated in many ways, mm-hmm. and I looked outwardly for validation. And this is the first time that I've sat with myself long enough to say, okay, we're going to go inside and we're going to trust that there is a path for you and you're going to navigate it this time. You're not going to do based on what other people want or think for you. And so that's where this came from. It's equally exciting and terrifying at the same time. Yeah. Because I'm only 2.5 months into this, and I find myself looking for you're doing a good job, or mm-hmm. you're on the right path. Because I found that when I worked with people closely in those environments. And so this entrepreneurial avenue is such a journey, and it's very difficult, but I don't think I can go back. I'm on it. This is where I'm headed.
It is hard.
It's really hard.
On the inside,
mm-hmm.
maybe nobody notices it on the outside, but it's hard on the inside because all of us wonder whether we're actually doing what we're supposed to be doing the way that we're supposed to be doing it. And you are in a really unique position. Aren't you excited about all this?
Yes.
I mean, doesn't it just you think, what could possibly happen mm-hmm. tomorrow?
And I have a lot of people that have to remind me of that, because you get caught up in your own thoughts and you're like, if I just had the game plan and I could plan ahead and be like, okay, this is next, then I could anticipate and I could have all the right answers and all the solutions. But then they're like, well, wait a minute. Is that really what you want? Isn't the element of surprise the exciting part? And do you want the journey laid out in front of you, or do you want to explore it on your own? And they often say to me, you know, I wish I could go back to where you are now, because it's the most exciting time of my life. Like, business wise, it was definitely the most exciting. So I remind myself of that often, to try and just keep, you know, centered and going, because it's terrifying, and you question yourself every day.
Yeah. You've got 2 kids. How old are they?
2 boys, 17, a junior, and then 14. They just turned, and he's in 8th grade. So
you're still in the mix there.
We're in the mix.
Like, you're not done with that part of it.
No, it's just a different kind
of chaos.
Why
now?
Yeah.
Do you have time for this?
I don't know that I considered that question. I think that it just was burning inside of me, and I could no longer contain it. Like, now is the time, and I didn't have any other option. Yeah. But I feel like this is a perfect opportunity to be an example to them, and to follow your dreams and your passions. And it's fun because my kids have some social media access, and I'm always like, did you like my reel? How'd I do? What do you think? And it's fun because they're like, my friends are following you. And to create that
so
rapport
brilliant.
With my kids.
You're in an amazing place. So paint a picture of what you'd like to see Zesti Chef become. Because it's a little different. It's not your typical cooking show where you're teaching people how to make recipes come to life. But it's bigger than that. Your dreams are bigger than that. Your vision of what you want to see happen in front of the camera is bigger than that. So what do you want it to look like?
Yeah, I think there's a process. I learned this term BHAG, a big, hairy, audacious goal. And if I were to give what my BHAG is at the moment, it's a facility, it's a wellness facility where people can come, like-minded people, and they can have the experiences for wellness, whether that be yoga, whether that be therapy, or just a place where people can come and have an experience where they're brought back to themselves. I want to create the experience of what I'm going through right now. Yeah. Like, bring that centeredness. So to get there, I want to offer cooking classes and instruction to people. It's the connection. Like, I desire to connect with people in a way where it inspires them and, makes it so that they're no longer intimidated in the kitchen. Mm-hmm. I really love the concept of culinary therapy. And so if we can sit down and just...
What's culinary therapy? Define that for me.
Culinary therapy, for my definition, would be a connection with somebody while you're cooking. So it's the idea of, who wants to go to a therapist's office and lay on their couch and spill out your guts when you could be doing something and you're busy with your hands, but you're also spilling your heart out. Yeah. And so there's an idea of art therapy that's very similar. But it's a distraction of the intimidating part of therapy that allows people to open up.
And you get to eat the fruit.
And you get to eat. It's an experience. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes.
So you're going to have conversations in the kitchen.
Conversations in the kitchen.
Yeah. And what do you hope those conversations accomplish? What's the thing that you would hope comes out of those conversations?
Yeah. I hope that I can give people the confidence and courage to look within themselves, to be able to tackle their fears, to be able to do the intimidating thing, to be able to think like, I can do anything that I want to do. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it wouldn't take more than a couple minutes with somebody before they felt you're with them on that journey. Mm-hmm. It's not just them. It's not just you wanting them to have that journey, but you're willing to go with them, which is something that's really attractive to people. Mm-hmm. You mean you'll go with me on the journey?
Yeah, you're not
you'll
alone.
Go where?
And I've been there. I'm still going through it. Like, maybe I'm just a little further ahead on the path, but we're all going through it. And if you're willing to just grab onto other people as you go, like, why not? What a great experience is to do it with others.
One of the things that I've discovered as I've delved into this whole idea of the digital world is that there are some things that haven't happened yet. I mean, you can when you're thinking about AI, this becomes really obvious that we have no idea how big it's going to be or how it's going to impact our lives. But there's something kind of thrilling about that whole thing. Like, I don't know about you, but I really enjoy kind of being out of control a little bit because I'm having to lean on other people and lean on God in my case, because I know that this thing's bigger than I am. Is this project that you're beginning bigger than you are?
Yes. And it is led through God. I feel like I finally am listening now. I'm just surrendering to the idea that I no longer am the one in control and that he has a path for me. And I'm really listening now.
Okay, this is the question. This is my question that I love to ask people. So I'm going to ask you, when God thinks about you, what does he think?
When God thinks about me, he's proud of me. And he had a plan all along. And he was just preparing me for this moment. He's excited for me. He thinks, I've equipped you to do this, and you're going to take people along with you. And
Anything else?
I just think that I see it.
You're doing really well. Yeah, that's a hard question.
It is a hard question. And I don't think I've ever thought of it in the sense, I mean, I'm coming back to myself for the first time. And so there's so many things that I'm learning, and I don't know that I have the language to articulate everything. But all I can do is just be vulnerable and give it to people right where I'm at.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to, I wasn't proud of myself for a long time. And so, and I really needed to rethink my purpose.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you've got only so much to give. Mm-hmm. There's something that's like not all that exciting about giving everything to something that doesn't mean anything. Mm-hmm. And when you find that thing that has real meaning for you, I mean, you've run businesses. You've helped run offices, dental offices. You've been, obviously you've been really good at what you've done, but there's a different thing that happens when you feel like you're in the groove of what you feel like you've been created to do. Mm-hmm. And you don't know how long it's going to last. Mm-hmm. So there's a sense of urgency, isn't there, about what you're doing right now? Mm-hmm. Like, I got to do this now. Yeah,
I can't contain it anymore. It's just spilling out of me. There's the idea of operating in your genius zone.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I was fully ever there because I didn't allow myself to go there. And I don't really fully know what or could to describe to you what my genius zone is. I just know that I'm almost there.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sloughing off all the things that don't serve me, and I'm headed there. I'm on the way.
What are you most excited about?
I'm most excited about the path, and I'm most excited about surrendering to the fact that I don't know what's going to happen, and to look back and see this person here and being in the shoes that I will be in. Yeah. I'm so excited for that.
Yeah.
I'm also excited to be with people and to make the connection and see people for who they are and hold space for them, knowing that where I was and being able to relate to them and help them through on this process.
Yeah. Well, I want to be one of those people. I mean, like we only met each other an hour ago.
Yeah.
And we're having this conversation, and I feel like I really understand you and empathize with you. I mean, there's some things that are going on inside of you that I think are going on inside of me. And it's just, I didn't have any idea this was going to happen today.
No.
And that's what can happen when you open yourself up to do the thing that you're created to do. Mm. Like, I don't want to get too spiritual about this whole thing, but at one point God created you a certain way. And you've discovered that path, maybe kind of the center of that path, and it feels really good. Mm-hmm. And I think he feels really excited about what you're doing because you didn't create yourself. He created you. And this is what he created you to do. And he's really excited and happy about what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's a little bit too spiritual, but... No,
I appreciate it.
That's the way he thinks. He's a creator. He's not... We can't really create. We can recreate, but we can't create the same way he does. And his world is so different than ours. He has everything invested into you, Christin. Everything that everything that he had, he gave to you. And he gave you the ability to do things that are extraordinary, and you're about to do those things. So I'm really excited about it. I think you're in a really good spot, and I don't think you have a thing to be concerned about. I know that as you start this journey, there are all these, like you came here today because you want to see how a studio kind of looked and felt.
Yeah. I don't know the tech. I'm just trying to figure out how to make I'm learning so many things. I just got into social media 2 months ago. So there's so much to learn. And that's where I came in with that headspace.
Because you did that, now you're going to walk out of here with more.
Yeah.
More to think about, more to work on, more ideas that pop into your head all of a sudden out of nowhere. And I'm really excited for you. I can't wait to do an interview a year from now and see how things have changed. And we will do that, okay?
Okay.
We'll do that. We'll do a follow-up interview and just see how what has happened since today that you are moving just that much further down the journey, down the trail too. So thank you for sitting down today. I really appreciate it. And I'm glad that you are doing what you're doing right here in Longview.
Thank you. Well, thank you for giving me this platform. And I want to reverse the roles at some time and get you in the kitchen with me.
I'd love anytime.
Okay.
I would love to go into the kitchen. I'd love to spend some more time with you. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.